Did you guys know I invented carnivore mashed potatoes? If you didn't, today's your lucky day because we have version 2.0 and I'm gonna need a little bit of help in the kitchen. Everybody help me welcome someone real special. My mom is back in the kitchen to help me do version 2.0 of the carnivore mashed potatoes. I'm gonna make them easier for you guys. They're gonna be easier to reheat and I think they're gonna taste even better. Let's get to cooking. All right, if you guys haven't seen the original mashed potatoes video done carnivore style, I'm gonna link that down below for you, but my mom was with me in the kitchen when we did it the first time. Today, I'm gonna put her to work because we're gonna do version 2.0, which is a little bit easier. Now, you've made this recipe a whole bunch of times yourself.
I have.
Yeah, this is a good one. This is an important one for our family because I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm definitely skinnier since the last time we did this, but so are you.
I am a little bit, yes.
Yep. She's lost more weight doing keto and carnivore stuff. Diabetes is more under control. We've seen all of the amazing things that result from us doing this. These carnivore mashed potatoes are a big part of that. So let me show you guys how we make the easier 2.0 version of my carnivore mashed potatoes. I've got my skillet medium to medium high heat, and we're gonna start melting down our butter and toasting our beef gelatin. Let's go. We have a full tablespoon and a half of beef gelatin. I'm gonna do more toasted beef gelatin this time than what I did before. If you guys didn't know, this is the secret weapon ingredient for these carnivore mashed potatoes. So we're gonna do the toasted beef gelatin, and instead of doing this and then putting it in later, we're gonna do it right in the pan. So we're gonna dump that in. Would you be so kind as to help me toast some beef gelatin?
You mean I have to work?
If you wanna get fed. All right, once we get the salt and the egg whites in, we're going to go ahead and add in a half of a teaspoon of white pepper and a quarter teaspoon of garlic powder. Seasonings are optional, but they are really nice in there. I figured out over the last year and a half of doing these that a meat chopper is a much faster way of doing this than using one of these spatulas. I'm gonna link this one down below for you guys. Go check it out. That should make your job a little bit easier once all of the eggs have curdled and become solid. All right, so this right here is where most people stop because they say, oh, there's no liquid left. So this must be what Chris means when he says cook the eggs dry. If you stop here, they're going to taste like eggs because they still look wet and they still smell a little bit like eggs. The surface starts to change color just a little bit. It starts to darken slightly. Extra moisture, even on the surface of the eggs, is disappearing. The eggs are not sticking together anymore. See, these kind of clump together. That will start to crumble apart and not stick together when it starts to crumble, and when it starts to almost smell like buttered popcorn. Sizzle basically disappears from the pan. That's when they are dry enough. So if you think that they're cooked dry enough, you need to cook them more. And if you cook them more and you think that's got to be it because these are really overcooked, cook them some more and then they will be done, and that's gonna take care of that egg flavor. Let's keep cooking. Well, Mom, what you think? Looking good?
Yeah, I think they're there because, like I said, the sizzle has almost disappeared and they're not clumped together anymore. They're loose and...
I don't smell any eggs. Buttered popcorn is really the only thing I smell. All right, we're gonna pull them off the heat. We're gonna let them cool and we're gonna get them blended up. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put these into the blender, and a high-powered blender does help an awful lot with these. So if you don't have a high-powered blender, I will link a Vitamix down below that I really enjoy. There are other ones out there. If you like something else, that's fine too, but a good blender is definitely the key to this. So I'm gonna put these in here and we'll add the other ingredients and show you how we blend them up. Now I've done this enough, I've gotten really good at doing it without measuring the cream. Measure out your cream, do it a little bit at a time, because if you get too much, it's a bit of a problem, because you're gonna notice I'm not putting any egg white powder in this. This makes it much easier to reheat. So you gotta make sure you don't get too much liquid. So start small, measure out your cream, and then put it in a little bit at a time, just enough until it starts to blend. I've done this enough that I get pretty lucky, so we're just gonna dump some in. On top of that goes the Parmesan cheese and the fresh mozzarella. Now you said you've never used fresh mozzarella.
No, because each time I've gone to make them, I discover that I'm out of fresh mozzarella. So I've substituted whole milk cottage cheese. It doesn't turn out quite as good as with the fresh mozzarella, but it's not a bad substitute. And sometime I'm gonna try using ricotta cheese and see what happens.
You guys can customize it, different options. We're gonna use fresh mozzarella because I stocked up today. One other thing that I have learned, if you're having a really hard time getting it to mix and you've used a lot of cream and you don't want to use a bunch more, you can also use a little bit of water and just slowly drizzle that in until it starts to mix better. Gives it a nice flavor as well, because potatoes do have that watery feel. So just a little bit, be careful not to overdo the moisture, and then you're gonna need the egg white powder. All right, so this is the texture we are looking for, like a soft mashed potato texture. Now, if these do still taste slightly eggy to you, that can happen sometimes. All you need to do is let them sit for a while. Gases will continue to escape and the egg flavor will dissipate. We're also gonna put these into a saucepan so we can reheat them when it comes time to serve them with dinner. And the extra little bit of cooking in that reheating process will also make more of that sulfur gas disappear. So this is the texture you're looking for. If you end up with something that is thinner than this, you're gonna have to add egg white powder to it to thicken it back up, and then it's gonna be really difficult to reheat because it's gonna turn into scrambled eggs again. Make sure you're careful not to get it too liquidy so that you don't have to try to make it thicker after the fact. Let's put this into a saucepan. Let's get ready for dinner. All right, y'all, that is how we make the carnivore mashed potatoes with gravy. I'm gonna step out of the way. I'm gonna let my mom and dad test my recipes, give their feedback, and then we're gonna have some dinner.
I'm always ready for potatoes. Those are so good. I mean, for me, potatoes say that's like comfort and home, family and love. I associate potatoes with our meals at home when Nana would make fried chicken and mashed potatoes, and even Mama. She's the one who taught Nana how to make potatoes, who then taught me how to make potatoes. These, I can't tell really the difference between these and the mashed potatoes we always used to have. I mean, they're creamy, they're creamy. Warm, they're comforting, everything.
And with that gravy on there, just tastes great. And again, very rich. It just tastes like potatoes, only so much better for your proper diet.
Ricky would like them. Now that's an endorsement because he won't eat regular potatoes. But they will not eat potatoes.
You will enjoy this one.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Mm. So good.
Really good.
All right, y'all, that is the mashed potatoes 2.0 with the incredible gravy from that chuck roast, which is going to be coming in a future video. Make sure you keep an eye out for that one on the channel as well, because that chuck roast goes real well with those mashed potatoes. Major shout out to my parents for being here. I appreciate them jumping in the video, and I appreciate my mom helping me make those mashed potatoes. She made it a lot easier on me today. So thank you guys so much for watching. All my links are down below as always. This is Chris Cooking Nashville, Mama and Papa Nashville. Guys, make sure to eat your meat, even if it looks like carnivore mashed potatoes. Love your life. We're gonna see you here in the kitchen for a bunch more family-friendly recipes.